Scheepmaker. I work for the city of Rotterdam, and I'm probably a bit of the old fish in the pond here because I know nothing about design or manufacturing. And I'm not going to bore you with city policy. However, three cheers for me. However, the city does has a strong bend on trying to promote what we call the transition to a next economy, which means that the impact of digitalization as well as the whole circular revolution in terms of reuse of resources, the whole development, which is a bigger picture, is truly crucial for the economy of Rotterdam and the port of Rotterdam. So there's a pretty strong bend on promoting innovation and promoting new forms of manufacturing is obviously a strong part of that. And that's the reason why our city council has proclaimed a policy which we call Rotterdam Maakstad, or Rotterdam Maker City, whatever you want to call it, as a frame of wanting to promote opportunities for new forms of manufacturing that can either be what we call reshoring forms of manufacturing that might return from low labor countries to back to Western Europe, which is a trend which is happening, as well as promoting new forms of digital manufacturing, making use of the sort of innovative technologies that you've seen today. So Rotterdam as a city wants to create what we call an innovative ecosystem. And that's not just the maker movement, that's also the SMEs, that's the big companies, that's the whole picture. Working together in what I would like to see as a collaborative movement on creating new economic dynamics in the city and obviously new jobs.
In New York you have a big media industry and you have a big fashion industry, and it all feeds into that maker scene. Is there a media and marketing industry in Rotterdam, and are they involved in this? Is there a fashion industry in Rotterdam, and are they involved in this?
Just to go back a couple of years, we've tried actually in Rotterdam to set up a media industry, which was a solid failure, because it's hard to say that as a representative of the city. We really tried putting in a lot of money, which we don't have nowadays, to try and create and build a new industry in media in Rotterdam. And one of the things that we learned from that is that you have to stick to your own DNA, to what the economy of your region historically is, and you have to build on that. You should not try to sort of import new kinds of economies or new kinds of sectors that are not indigenous to your region. So in answer to your question, do we have a media economy here? No, not of any significance. So if you talk about promoting something like a manufacturing, a new kind of manufacturing industry in the city, you should, at least that's my opinion, try to connect these new innovations in manufacturing to the kind of manufacturing and economies that are already here, which for a strong part has a connection with the maritime industry, which is obvious because we have a big port here. But also, we do have a pretty significant amount of designers and architects and serious gaming businesses here, which is obviously a connection to design. So that's a logical connection that you should try to make. But things like fashion and media, apart from the fact that connect of resembling Rotterdam to New York is pretty nonsensical, I suppose. But no, you should stick to build on the strengths that you already have. That's my point. The industry in this region has understood a few things. One, We won't be refining oil in the same scale as we're doing now over 10, 20, 30 years. Nobody knows. I mean, it might go faster than we think. And also, resources are getting scarcer, so the whole idea of reusing, upscaling, upcycling resources will be a value proposition in the future. And also, combined with that, the possibilities of not just recycling, but also upcycling and refurbishing might create jobs. So the whole perspective of industry and what the opportunities of that type of circular industry might be, and the impact that might have on our economy and the sustainability and resilience of our economy has changed completely. So, for the better, thankfully.
What I see a lot, which is also a little bit in this discussion, is about decentralization and centralization. So the puzzle we are also trying to solve is that we are connecting to very small units of designers, which are like one or two person companies. And what we see is that if you want to create a development, in a way you also have to connect to bigger industry. And it's quite a complex puzzle to connect these small units to this bigger industry. And I see it in different discussions. So for instance, like we forgot to talk about Van Gansewinkel and AVR, which are actually quite big companies. Even Van Gansewinkel is now thinking about decentralization. So a lot of companies who have like big industries, which are also very polluting, are now thinking, how can we decentralize and still create an economy for ourselves? We are also looking at that because as a platform, we want to try to connect all of these young designers, young small companies, and create an economy. But we cannot make it only without connecting to a bigger industry. And if you're thinking about transforming your city, you have to really think about how you can connect these two, these small dots to your bigger flows.
If you are able to create a proposition to concentrate a lot of these types of new manufacturing in close proximity of the port, where the materials come in and are being reprocessed, that is a strong connection. So then you can combine, so to speak, the urban mining and the urban manufacturing, as you call it, as a combined proposition of creating new economic possibilities.
I think this is a really, what you just mentioned, Rami, is just a really powerful, almost like leitmotif, because you really want to connect the small and the large. And I'm almost stunned by how obvious it is, but it's really important. I teach my designers that they have to think about recycling, and the first thing I tell them is, look, this is a shredder, and a shredder will take your product apart, together with all kinds of other products. I have to teach them the basics of what the recycling world is about. And they're all like, whoa, I didn't know this, but now that I know, I can actually begin to design a world that actually makes use of this system. And conversely, the people who are in the big bulk, for them, products are givens. For them it is strange to think that they might give directions to product design. It's like, you talk to like a surgeon, and he's like, what do you mean? I could use a different kind of knife? You mean I could design these things? Wow! So there's a real power, and if we can somehow make this connection between the large and the small. Yeah, this is something as a municipality you can actually, by organizing meetings, by giving funding specifically for meetings where large and small meet, you can actually make this a reality very quickly. Because they don't naturally meet. They don't, and here in Rotterdam they do.
But there's an additional factor to that. It's not only size, it's also what colleagues call the meeting between the niche and the regime. And the regime is, by its very nature, conservative and stabilizing, which is a good thing. And the niche is innovating and driving forward. And it's those forces we need to make meet as well and balance. And we absolutely do need both.
And they meet at education.
For instance.
Yeah, but also here, I mean, thanks to Peter for organizing it, and also for other things we can do. And it's so easy to compartmentalize. We put the designers together with the designers, and let the designers work with the fashionistas and with whatever, and the furniture geeks, and they'll make even better. And then let have like AVR, who are in bulk, who burn our waste and get energy from it, and get all kinds of resources from the waste that's left. If you can actually get these worlds together, like the niche and the regime,